Hello.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Hey.
Hello.
So, hello, everyone. We are so excited to be here and to talk about the second book today. Hello, hello.
Yeah, it's always so
Hey.
exciting to get back and talk about a book we've read together.
Yes. We are also so excited. Okay, so
Yeah.
today, unfortunately, Esme won't be joining us. She
Mm.
will join us in the next lives in August, but she won't be here today because she can't. And Steph actually DNF'd the series, so unfortunately, she won't be here in our Ember in the Ashalong anymore
Mm.
because it's okay. We can't love any book that we read, like, we just can control it. It's
Yeah.
definitely okay, and we're glad that she don't force herself to read a book that she don't want to read. But
Yeah, we
we are
support
here.
DNFing books.
Mhm.
It's a good
Mhm.
thing.
Yes, yes, definitely a good thing not to force yourself to actually enjoy what you
Yeah,
read. It's really important. So we are
absolutely.
yes, so we are here today to talk about the book. Steph, hey. Hello, hello. So, Steph, you didn't finish the whole book, right? How much did you read so far? Like, how much did you read before you DNF'd it?
Yeah, and I guess you don't mind spoilers
Yes,
because we're gonna talk about things you might have not read about. So,
yes. And yes, we are
yeah.
definitely agreeing. Like, never force yourself, just enjoy what you read. Yes. And if
Yeah.
you're hearing my cat in the background, I'm sorry. He's just yelling.
That's fine. I don't mind animals in the background, or even if we see them, cats, dogs, whatever your animal, I'm in for that.
We are animal lovers.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Halfway.
That's quite a bit, actually.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean,
So you know,
yeah.
like the plot, yeah, like the overall plot. So that's good.
Hmm.
Spoilers all the way. Pets, yes, we all love pets so much.
Hmm.
Hello
We
for
do.
everyone who's joining us. Hello, hello, hello everyone. Okay, so I think that maybe we can start like talk generally what we thought about overall the book. Hey, hello.
Hmm.
Uh,
Um,
okay,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
okay. No, you want to start like to say what you thought about the book, which star rating did you give the book?
So first I want to say that An Ember in the Ashes, I gave it 4 stars. So I really love that one, and I was like, I didn't give it like 5 stars because the romance in it, like love triangle, whatever, was a bit too much for me. So I went into the second book being like, okay, I'm so excited for it. I'm gonna love it just as much, and I ended up giving it 2 stars. I almost DNF'd it. I did not DNF it, and I still want to continue with it because I still like there are something that's like that I find intriguing. I need more answers. But yeah, so it was a so book for me because the first half of it was quite slow and quite like on repeat. Like I felt like it was reading the same thing all over and over because like we're gonna talk about it a bit further. But yeah, it was too slow for me. So
Hmm.
2 stars.
So yes, so I actually gave it 3 stars, and I like generally I really agree with Sasha because I also love the first book. I gave it 4 stars. Like the start was a little bit slow, but the end I really love the characters and everything.
Mm.
And then the second book just felt slow, and it felt to me like it was trying to get to the fourth book. Like the whole book just felt to me like just before the fourth book. Like I just felt like there wasn't a lot of plot, so
Mm.
it a little bit bothered me. And like there was a few things that I really loved, but most of them I don't know. Like it was a solid 3 stars, just average to me. But
Mm.
I also really, really want to read the fourth one because I want to know what is going to happen. Like the end really made me want to continue reading it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even if you're not satisfied, the author found a way to keep you like
Hmm.
intrigued in some way. So, I mean, it usually happens with the second book in a series when it's like so because you're kind of getting to the main plot, after
Hmm.
the second book. So it's like an in between kind of book, like almost like a novella or companion book, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Yes, it felt to me like this. Before we get to the comments, I just wanted to say for everyone who just joined us, today it's only Sasha and I. Esme will be joining us in the next live. She just couldn't come today. And Steph, unfortunately, she here in the chat, but she decided to DNF the series, which is okay. Don't force yourself to read something that you don't want to. We're happy that you DNF'd it because
Mm.
don't force yourself. So she read only half of the book, but she here in the chat. So
Mm.
yes, I've been wanting to ask this question on Kinan Laya scene at the cave near the prison. Wait,
When they
ah, okay, I got it. Okay. I needed a minute to remember, but I got it.
Mhm.
I actually think it was like I loved that it went to the end. Like I think that I loved it because I love extreme, like I love things like this when something extreme, and then we all know what Kinan did. So it felt like good to me because Laya felt even worse because of it. So it felt to me like Kinan really wanted to make her miserable, and it just I think like it's good for his character because he's evil. So like I feel I don't know, like I think I'm like positively thinking about the scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna be mean, just like you, and say that I loved it because it made her miserable at the end, which is not good. You don't want that for your beloved characters, whatever. But it
Hmm.
really made, like, I think it built something, and I want to see how it's gonna evolve in the future. But even without knowing what happened after, what Kinan did and was, etc., I was like, I could understand something like this happen because like they were escaping, they were like surviving, they were hiding, and the tension, there is some kind of tension. I mean, and it made sense. It kind of made
Hmm.
sense. It didn't bother me actually, which is usually the case, but it felt like natural almost. So nothing against it actually.
Hmm. Yes, I also like I agree with you. It just felt realistic, which I loved.
Yeah.
Like it felt good. Yes. What you think? Like you ask us, so I'm really curious to know what you think about the scene
Yeah.
because how the writing style was in. Yes, actually, the quotes like there
Yeah.
most of the book what was average to me, but what made it a little bit better was the those moments with the quotes. Like also, for example, this when Elias' mother, like from the I can't remember her name, but when she made her speech to everyone, there was
Mamirilla. Was it
yes,
Mamirilla?
Mamirila. Yes, Mamirila, something like this. So there was like a few really good quotes there. This was one of the few scenes in the beginning, middle of the book that I loved because most
Mm.
of what I loved was in the end of the book. But I love the scene, like everything and how everything went and the plot. So I remember that there was a few really good quotes. Yes, like
Mhm.
the writing was nice, but it was like the first book I felt. I just yes, it was nice.
Yeah, I love the writing style and the way it was like introduced to us. Like in the first book, the writing style, I feel it was the same, but the content like was different because in the first one we got to get to know the characters, and here we knew a bit more about the world building, and it was like
Mhm.
dangerous a bit more than in the first book, etc. So you got to enjoy the atmosphere and the environment a bit more this time. So I can feel like why you would like find this book even better. And the quotes, absolutely, like they were things I was like, oh my gosh, oh yes, I, that's beautiful. Let's mark this.
Mhm.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes, like you know the feeling that you're reading something and you're saying to yourself, oh, "Wow, that's a really good quote." Like you just know it. Yes, I felt
Yeah.
like this, like in a few parts of the book that was nice. This is like one of the reasons that I gave it 3 stars and not
Mm,
less. Like this is what made the book more enjoyable to me.
mm, yeah,
Yes.
I get that.
Middle books, yes, like definitely. I hate it. Like I hate those middle books.
Mm, yeah.
Yes, good quotes. Easy. Yes, that was hard, but like
Yeah.
I think that I fell for her more in the first book. Like I love her character and I loved her character also in the second book, but I felt a little bit less connected to her character in the second book. I don't know why. Like I didn't like if she would die in the first book, I would definitely feel more sad about it than the second book. I just felt sad, but not really, really, really sad. I don't know why. Like I just something in the second book made me connect a little bit less to the characters, and I'm going to talk about it because there is one character that I just hated in the first book and I loved in the second one.
I can guess who that is.
Who you think it is?
I think Helen or Elena.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So like everyone here who was in the first live, I also got really disappointment when I found out that Helena is going to get a POV in the second book. I just didn't love her character at all in the first book,
Mm,
and I was also really disappointment. Like I was,
mm,
oh, I don't want like to read her plot, but I really get why Sabater did it because Elias and Laia's plot, like it was two POVs, but almost the same plot most of the
yep.
book. Yeah, so like I get why she made another POV, so there is going to be another plot, and I really really love the Helena plot. Like really, I really love the Helena plot. I really love her. I love her family. I love her. I don't know, like I really didn't love her in the first book, but I really love her.
Mm,
Like now she's one of my favorite characters. Like everything changed in the second book. I really fell
yeah.
for her. I don't know. Like I love her.
I'm not gonna say that I love her, but I loved, like at the beginning when when I knew that we were getting like her POV, I was like, no, I don't want that. But actually, it
Exactly.
was well done because in the first book, she wasn't someone. She was just in that weird love triangle kind of thing. She was not her own person, I feel. And in this book, she was actually herself. And you can see how troubled she is by everything and all the decisions she has to make. Is she gonna do what they want her to do? Is she gonna follow her own conscious or whatever? So I was like, I, I don't love her, but I appreciate her POV in this book. So I
Hmm.
totally get where you're coming from. So yeah.
Yes, which is like it's nice because I didn't love her in the first book, but like it's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice
Yes.
surprise to have like to change your point of view, like to,
Hmm.
your like preferences, etc. But I feel like maybe having her in the first book would have helped with the
Hmm.
second book.
Yeah, I think yes, because in the first book, like her character just felt to me like trouble. Like I just, oh, why is she here? Why she is in this love triangle? I
Yeah.
just don't want to see her. It just felt to me not in place. And in the second book, she actually, like you say, it felt like a real character.
Mm,
So yes, I really agree with you. Like maybe if we saw more in the first
mm,
book, maybe it will be good.
yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I know what you mean. Like it felt wrong, but in a way, like romantically, it felt wrong. But with all the tension, I feel like it felt natural.
So
Not in a romantic way, but more like hormones talking, or
mhm.
the attraction talking, but not the romance in it. So
if I remember right, we as readers already knew what Kenan, like that Kenan is the enemy when the scene came, right? Like if I'm remembering right. Because I remember that I already, like when I read it, I remembered that I told myself, "Oh, it's amazing! He's going to betray her, and they're going to be together, and they now like together." So it was what made the scene really fun to me, because if I didn't knew that he's the enemy, I wouldn't enjoy the scene, and I would enjoy it after I found out.
Mm,
But I loved that we as readers already knew it and just saw it happening, and we,
yeah.
we couldn't done anything about it. It was fun. I don't know, like I love when miserable stuff happens in books. I'm sorry. I just really
I
love
mean,
it.
it makes it relatable.
Yes. Yes. And felt like.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. Like it were more like a primal urge more than romance. So it
Yes, it
was more
doesn't.
physical and not like romance and feelings, etc. It felt like they just needed that at that moment.
Yes, it felt to me like it felt to me only this scene and not romance at
Mm.
all. Like I feel
Wow.
like I got no romance at all from this scene.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it was a good twist. Like I loved it.
Really, like I was like when I read it, I was like, oh, okay. Like I wasn't expecting that exactly, but I was expecting something
No,
because
I
the way
was.
he was acting, the way he knew things, he used her exact words. Yeah, like he was talking like, yeah, I love that, or I know that, and that's exactly the words she used in the first book and things like that. And I was like, is he a psychic? Is he like I'm missing something. So I knew something was coming, but I didn't know it was that.
Yes, exactly. Also for me, like I knew something was coming. It was like the
Mm.
most expected thing ever. I think that already in the first book, I was really like something wasn't right in Kenan at all. But I loved that he's the Nightbringer. Like I
Mm.
couldn't expect this twist. I loved that. Like
Yeah.
Kenan is evil. It's really expected, but that he is the Nightbringer, it was good. I love this.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Same. Yeah. Easy. Like I felt for her like I was sad, but at the same time, I love when authors do that and just destroy your characters or the one you find cute and the one you find deserves the world. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I felt bad, but at the same time, it's war. Like it's not an easy situation. It's dangerous. And if
Hmm.
every single character or a friend of the main character would survive, you'll be like, that's not realistic. I mean, that's not really. I mean, at least it made. It was sad, but it made sense. Like within the situation. I mean, in my opinion, but it was sad. She really did not deserve that. She did not deserve that. So yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, see?
Yes, yes. We all think the same.
Mm,
I was like, I
yeah.
actually agree with it. Like, I love when characters dies in books, but like I said, if Izzy would die in the first book, I would felt more sad. Like, I love when characters die, and I would
Mm,
like to see her dead in some point. I'm sorry that I'm saying it, but like I would love to see the characters dead. But I felt like it was a little bit not the most hard and sad timing. Like I would
mm,
love to see a little bit more of their friendship, because I felt like in the first book we saw the beginning, and then in the second book like we saw them together, but all the scenes together they weren't really together. Like Izzy was with that boy, and I didn't felt like there was any dialogues between them in the second book, like almost nothing. I just didn't
mm,
really felt this love and friendship the same way that I felt in the first book.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like in the first book, they got to bond, they got to survive in that, where were they? A palace, a castle,
The academy.
in
Academy,
that
yes.
academy together. So they shared secrets, they escaped together, they did like whatever together. And here they just like they were on the road together. That's it,
Mm-hmm.
escaping and hiding. And there was no bond. There was no
Mm-hmm.
real conversation, or at least that's the way I felt. Like no real conversation, no real connections, nothing really. She was just like a side character.
Exactly, yes. Like I felt this connection between Laya and Elias. Like I felt that
Mm.
they are getting more of a relationship, because in the first book it just felt to me like two people who are together because all the plot. But
Mm.
in the second book it felt to me like they are getting to know each other better. But I
Mm.
didn't feel this way about Izzy. Like I wanted to see
Mm.
more of dialogues and more of like more of the relationship development between each
Yeah.
other. Yeah, so because of that, I wasn't really sad, because I felt more connected to her in the second book than in the first book, sorry, than
Yeah.
in the second book. Yes.
Yeah, I was more shocked by Helen's family getting killed. Like when that happened, I saw Game of Thrones.
I just
I
I want to say that my favorite scene of the whole book was when
no,
Helena came to Marcus and she said to him something like, "Why didn't you believe me?" And he said to her that he knew all along that what the plan of Elias' mother. I always forget her name, but what her plan. And I just look at the book, because for all the second book, I felt like Marcus was really stupid, that he didn't get and didn't listen to Helena. But when this scene happened, and when he said to her, "I knew all along, and I wanted you to to bring Elias, and I wanted you to listen to me and don't unrespect me in front of everyone." He just killed her parents and her family because she didn't respect him and didn't listen to him. And I loved it, because like a leader needs to be like this in this world. A leader needs to be like cold and evil. And Marcus was like the perfect leader in this situation. Like I just looked at the book and I was like, "Oh my god, Marcos, you're the best." Like I really love his character. I know that he's the evil, but he had a reason, and I loved that he really had a reason why he done what he done. But like what happened with the little sister of Helena, the one that now is married to Marcos, it was expected. This thing was really, really expected. Like from when he just came to the house and her parents hide the little sister from him for Marcos, I knew that something is going to happen. Like I just knew that there
mm,
is something, and in the end, the little sister will be with Marcos. But I really loved how everything went and how it started, like how everything went together and why they became together. Like what happened. I just really loved this scene. Was for me the climax of the book, like the best scene, the
mm.
best chapter. I really love this chapter, like definitely the best one.
Yeah, plot wise and character wise, and the way it was written and what happened. Like I really loved that part, even if it was horrible. But it was Game of Thrones for me. Like it was. I can see that scene with all the hats, like on the pikes or whatever, and I was like, my gosh, this is that. This is what's happening in this book, and I was like, oh my gosh, she did it. She did it. This is horrible, but I love it. So yeah, it made sense. And as you said, like when you are a leader in that kind of world, in that kind of society, environment, or whatever, you have to be cruel, or people will disrespect you in front of all the other little less like
Hmm.
leaders or whatever. So yeah, I know what you mean. Like plot wise and character wise, I felt like it was a
Hmm.
good thing to do.
Yes, it was like this is those kinds of scenes that you get why the book was like the way it was. And this is one of those scenes that really makes me want to read the fourth book, because I felt like the middle book syndrome, like we talked, that it
Yeah.
was really slow, but I really hope that the fourth one will be really intense and not like the second one. Like I hope the fourth one will be like a last book, like plot
Mm.
wise and intense wise. We know that there is a fourth book, but like it took her a lot of time to release it. So I don't know, like plot wise, how everything is going to end in the fourth book.
Mm.
But like this scene just made me wow. It was amazing. Like the characters. It was also plot and also characters development. It was just everything. Like I really love this scene. Yes, definitely my favorite one.
Yeah, the author wasn't scared at all to crush us and to crush her characters.
Mhm.
Like, I was like,
Amazing.
I
I
loved
loved it
it.
so
Yeah.
much. I loved Elena. Okay. I'm curious now. I really want to read the Ford already. Elias
Yes,
Pearson is
Elias.
weird. Hmm.
Um,
I
I don't
think
know
that
how I feel about him, to be honest. Like, I felt like it was about him, but I was more curious about the other characters. But I really wonder how he will get used to his new life as a soul bringer, because I feel like he's a bit too human for
I think
that.
that that's what makes the whole Soulbringer thing more interesting, because for him it will be like a really big challenge because it's Elias. It's like Elias. He's like
Yeah.
really hard for him to do things like to see death. I don't know, but I think that I like it. My only problem that I don't know how it will play in the next books. Like I'm afraid that it will make the plot less interesting in the next books. But I like that there was some kind of twist because Elias isn't alive. Like he isn't
Mm.
alive, but he's also isn't dead. So like I love when like it, it isn't a happy ending. Not matter what is going to happen now, he doesn't have an happy ending. It's like he's suffering from his job, like more or less. So I love when there is something different in books, and it felt to me different
Mm.
and unique to this book. So I don't like. I
Mm.
love like he doesn't alive. It's already makes things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Did you think he would heal in some way, that he would get at some point rid of the poison, or were you sure he would die?
No, for me, because it's a YA book, I knew that something is going to keep him in the plot. So
Hmm.
I told myself, oh, he's going to be alive in some kind of way, because
Yeah.
this is what I usually expect in YA books, like especially main characters, they are going to be alive. So
Mm.
he's like kind of alive because he's kind of a main character, and he's going to be a main character also in the next book and be a part of the plot. But I expected for him to be alive, just like to heal from the poison, just that something will happen. And the like now he isn't alive, so it makes it a little bit more unique, and that's
Mm.
why I love it, because I just expected him to be alive, and I didn't expect him to be the in between alive and death.
Mm.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I really hope he's gonna play the part. I really hope he's gonna take advantage of that, and that he's not gonna be too sad about himself, and he's gonna just keep thinking about that or doing things differently or whatever. I really hope he's gonna be like not becoming the villain or a morally great character, but just that he's gonna play the part now. Because I feel like even if he was present in this book, I felt like it was, I know less about him than the others, but we
Yes, I
kept
agree.
reading about him. But I didn't see like a journey. I thought like, I mean, I remember he got poisoned by his mother. He knew he was dying. He had only a few months left, etc., etc. So I knew like the main step, but internal wise, like emotion wise, character wise, I didn't see his journey, or maybe I missed something, but I did not connect. to him at any point. And
I agree with you because I felt like his whole character was around the plot of Laya. Because,
mm,
like, we saw him a lot, but every time that we saw him, it was about getting Laya's brother out of the jail. So, like,
mm,
yes, I also didn't really see him. Like, I loved when he was in jail that he was with this little boy. That's that's one thing that made me, oh yes, it's Elias. Elias would act like this. Just made me remember that his character are unique and like his character. But until then, I felt like he was like in between, just not really in the plot, not really. I didn't saw him enough. So yes,
mm.
I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah, but I have high hopes, like as you said, like
Mhm.
so I'm reading Turn the Hat at the moment, so the second book in the site series,
I
whatever,
read it. Yes, oh my
and
God, yes.
I'm in the middle of it, and there is like the old sites and the new sites kind of thing, and the old
Mhm.
sites believe that you have to be more human and like more empathic. Do you say
Yes,
empathic?
empathic.
And
Empathic. Yes,
yeah,
empathic.
to be a good site. And I feel
Hmm.
like he needs to be that in order to
Hmm.
become like a good cell bringer
Hmm.
and to
Yes.
manage all of that. So I
Yes,
have
actually.
hopes.
Yes. Actually, yes, like I'm thinking about it, and if like any one of you read Scythe, a little bit like it can remind me a little bit of the role of
Mm,
being Scythe. Yes, I can.
mm,
I really can get what you are saying. Mistake sire. Yes,
yeah,
yeah, definitely. I love
exactly.
when character dies. Like it's my favorite thing.
I mean, we don't love that they die.
Yes,
We just love the fact that they
yes,
die.
that there is a plot, that something is
Yeah.
like moving forward. Yes, fire. Yes, definitely creative risk. It's like the best things in books.
Yeah, I always wonder if they knew that from the very beginning that they're gonna kill the character at that exact moment. I mean, it depends on the author. Some they
Hmm.
know everything that's gonna happen. Some just go with the flow. But I always wonder what happens in the head when they realize they're gonna kill them. Like, I'm
So
just like,
I feel that like with Easy, for example, I feel that maybe Sabater knew that she's going to die somewhere. Like she knew I'm going to kill this character. I just don't know where. Let's see how the plot continues, then I will kill her. Like just
mm,
kill her. I feel like maybe it was like this with Easy.
I don't
Yes,
know.
I'm kind of the person, heartbroken. Yes, yes. I agree with you because like I love sad endings and I love when bad things happens in books, but sometimes I read books and I feel like it was just too forced. Like just the author really wanted something intense to happen, but it didn't really felt genuine or part of the plot. So I really get you because I'm like I love bad endings and like bad things in books,
Mm.
but I don't love when it just feels not in place.
Yeah, like the weird again love triangle thingy going on all over book first, like book one, did not feel natural. It felt forced, and it felt like just want to piss
Hmm.
off the reader. I don't know. I just yeah, it has to feel natural, but yeah,
I
I
agree
know.
with you. Yeah, definitely I agree with you.
Mm, I'm curious. Like,
I feel that like I expected her family to die, and when it happens, it was okay. But what made the scene amazing to me, what happened after that with like the little sister of Elena, that Marcus is like said to everyone that he's going to marry her, and then that Marcus said to Elena that he knew about the plan of Elia's mother. Like I loved the meaning of the scene while the scene happened and while like while her parents got like killed. I felt like it was okay, it was intense, I loved it, but the after made the scene amazing to me.
yeah, it's like whatever you do, whatever you think you know, I will always be further. Like I will always know more. I will always be able to do more. I will always be able to crush you more and to destroy you more, etc. Yeah, that's what it meant.
Yes, I feel like that's what made the book enjoyable to me, that there was so many expected things, but just one layer expected. Like there was another layer that I didn't expected, and that's what made the expected thing really enjoyable. Like also with Helena parents, and yes, like I felt like with the Kenan, the Nightbringer, like all those stuff, it was like
Mm,
expected, but some point wasn't expected. So it was
yeah,
fun.
yeah, agree.
Hmm. I,
So many things.
yes.
Oh,
Predictions. It's interesting. Predictions about the fourth book. Like I don't want to get disappointment, but I do feel that maybe it's going to be way more intense than the first and the second book. At least that's what I hope will happen. Like I really hope that everything will be really, really intense. I don't know. I really want to see the relationship of Marcus and like Helena's younger sister, how they are married and how everything is going between them. I would want to see a little bit of that. But I don't know. Like I'm trying not to think. Maybe I'm
yeah.
afraid to be disappointment, because usually when I expect too much, I get disappointment. But I I expect it to be more intense, at least than the second book. Like I hope it will be 4 stars and not three
Mm,
or less. Like I really hope that I won't hate it.
yeah, I feel like we will get more cracked development in the third book. I feel like we're gonna read a bit more about like Elias. I never know how to say Elias or Elias,
I
right?
think
Elias.
really
I,
I like.
I I don't know, Elias. I should listen to the other book just to know. But I feel like we gonna discover how he's facing his new like role, whatever, as a soul bringer, and discover what he will be able to do, or the game he's gonna be able to play a bit more, etc. But I also expect from Laya to actually see how she controls her power, like because she doesn't control it. I mean, as far as I know. So I want to see
Mhm.
more about that. And yeah, I feel
Also
like we're
about
gonna get.
Helena, the power of Helena, because Helena sings and heals people. So also that I want to see more. Yes.
See, I feel like the second book led us to a lot of little changes that we're gonna have to face in the third book. Like it
Yes.
was slow, high stakes or whatever.
Hmm.
But I feel like now we're gonna see more in depth, character wise. I mean,
Hmm.
that's what I would expect.
Yes, I also remember that in the first live, we spoke about that we didn't saw enough world building. And I remember, I think Esme said it, that in the second and in the fourth book, we are going to see more. And I think she said that, especially in the fourth book, like maybe I'm not remembering right, but I'm pretty sure like that she said that in the fourth book there is going to be more world building, and I can get it because Elias is a Nightbringer, like a soul keeper. I don't know how you the
Soulbringer, yeah.
soul bringer. So it's logical because if we are going to see his role, he's probably going to see more creatures. Like I feel that like we saw a little bit more of the world building in the second book, but I still feel like it isn't enough. And
Mm,
like we already in the fourth book, like we're going to read the fourth book, so it's about time to see a little bit more. Like also their powers, like Lias and Helena's powers, I feel like it's part of that world building. We don't know like where those powers can come from which creatures, like how it happens. So I really want to see a little bit more of that also.
yeah, and that's why I was not satisfied by the second book, because like I get that you want some secrets to be revealed at the end of your series or whatever, But like
Mm-hmm.
we already got so many questions at the end of the first book. Why didn't you give us some answers in the second book? Like, I
Yes, I
mean,
felt like, yeah, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted like to say that yes, I also felt like we like there is more questions, but I didn't got almost any answers to the questions that I had in the first book. And like I can get it. Also, sometimes you don't have questions until the last book in the series because there is a few stuff that like will take time, but not everything. Like I wanted to say a little bit more of answers to a few things. Like it just felt I didn't felt accomplished when I finished the book.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
I hope you're gonna get more answers soon because honestly, this is bothering me. Like, I
Yes.
love being on the edge. I love not knowing everything and getting surprised, etc. But at one point, when that thing is becoming the main part, because they all have powers now, we need to know
Mm-hmm.
where it's coming from. Are they
Yes.
half? What are they? Like, what
Mm-hmm.
are they? I, I feel like we need to get some answers in order to connect to them and to feel for them and to be like to simply care about them, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Yes.
So I really hope we're gonna get like answers. I'm not asking for these answers, but some answers.
Yeah. Like at least some answers
Yeah.
because like I felt like there was almost none in the second book. Read the
Yeah.
majority. Oh my god. I really, really hope it will get better. Like I'm really, really hope.
Yeah. Oh, in Game of Thrones.
Okay, I actually read Game of Thrones, the fourth book, so, like so many years ago, so I don't remember anything, and I didn't watch this show, so I just
I
like
mean,
what?
show me the person who knows everything about Game of Thrones. There are so
Yes,
many
why?
things happening left and right at the same time in different worlds. So I'm a fan of it. I know I don't know half of it.
Yes, there is a lot of plot lines.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay,
Good for
interesting.
Helen, but not good
Yeah,
for Elias. Elias.
I I think that I can get why. That's what I was afraid from the plot of the Soulbringer, because like I love that he isn't alive and he's isn't dead. Like I love that there is something unique, but I don't know how this plot can hold itself. Like I feel that it will get really repetitive and not really interesting. So that's what
Mm.
like I was really afraid when everything happened. So yes, I'm like I just in the first book, Elias POV was my favorite one. Out of the two
Mm.
POVs, my favorite one. But
Mm.
like, I really love this character. So yes, I like. I really hope that it won't be really bad. But I expect it to be bad. Plot
Plot twist. Lol.
No, actually, I'm happy that you said it because now I don't expect much and I won't be really disappointment.
Yeah. Mm.
Hmm. Yes, like yes and not. Like I feel that if she would heal them, it will be like the happy ending that you usually see in YA. So I
Mm.
loved it. Like if it would have happened, it would be really expected. I feel like I feel that if she would heal him, I just will
Mm.
feel, oh no, really, like that's the best you can do. So I'm a little
Yeah.
bit happy that it hasn't happened.
I wish there were more like friendships in YA and not always like romantic relationships. You
Yes,
can
like.
be a guy, a girl, two girls, two boys, whatever. Everyone can be just friends. I mean,
Mhm.
they don't need like any characters in books. They don't need to end up with someone or many people, whatever. They just, friendship is so important as well. So
Mhm.
that's also a point. Like I'm like, do you need that?
Yes, I agree with you. That's what I loved in the first book because I felt like there was all the easy relationship and like the friendship
Mm.
relationship. And it felt to me like it was really, I really missed it in the second book. I really, like, I always think that I always like love plots in books, but I don't love when it's the main thing in a book. And I usually really enjoy also the other relationships because if you have only one relationship between the main character and the love interest, it isn't really interesting. But if you
Mm.
have a lot of relationship with a lot of friends, it makes the plot more good.
Yeah, but see, like, um, it depends how you write about them. Like, for instance, when you take like Inej and Kaz, I don't know if you all read Six of Crows or whatever. N- You know that tension. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Made for me much more sense than
The
everything that
chemistry.
happened here. You know, what I mean, and I I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like there is so always like we talked about that in a live, I don't know, like many months ago. I feel like we have a lot of romantic relationships in YA because YA is like after middle grade. And it's like at that age that usually they say that people get attracted, they get like to feel their first romantic feelings like for the first time, etc. I
Mhm.
That was not English, but what I mean is that according to science and psychology, etc., that's when you start feeling things for people. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's why we get that more and more in YA. And I mean, so that's why it's like included a lot,
Yes,
like
it's
in a lot of
logical.
books.
Yes, I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't read a lot of fantasy adult books, although I want to, but the ones I read a lot of years ago, like the romance wasn't a big plot of the story, not as a big plot as YA. So I really get it because people in the YA age range
Mm.
who like reading books are looking for this kind of tension and like this kind of romance. So I really get why there is more romance in YA. Yes, I
Mm.
really get it. Like, and yes, like I don't think romance is bad. Like I
Mm.
loved, especially when I was later, like I really loved the romance plots. But I don't want for it to be the only relationship in the book.
Yeah. Same.
Mhm.
Same.
Let's say in the next book. It was
Yeah, exactly. I think like talking about Elias and the fact that
okay.
he's a soul bringer now. I mean, if I
Mhm.
understand that well, I feel like exactly he is caring and he's gonna do a good job at that. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what I think. Now we shall see.
Yes,
But
I think he will do a good job. I'm just afraid that it will be boring and repetitive. That's what I'm afraid from his point of view in the fourth book. Because like what can happen as a soul bringer? Like
yeah, but it's like inside. Like inside you are some kind of apprentice. And now
mhm.
he's an apprentice in between two worlds, like the
Yes,
living and the almost dead.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes, yes.
So I feel like we're gonna get substance. But
I hope
that's
so.
maybe me expecting too much. I should
Yes.
not.
I hope so. Yes, I agree. Yes. Yes, there is just those kind of friendships in books that means so much, and then like friends that would kill for each other, and it sometimes means more than a romantic relationship. Yes,
I mean, you can have a romantic relationship without it
like
being
this.
sexual as well.
Hmm.
Like, yeah.
Hmm. Also, yes, definitely.
Talking about what?
Yes, I think we are already behind in the chat.
Oh no. Yeah, best friends
Hmm.
just being best friends.
Yes, definitely. Hmm. Yes,
I agree.
definitely true. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, stop, Naomi,
I
please.
actually really want to read it like already. I like I didn't really enjoy the second book because I read it not in the right mood. It was my fault because I just left it until the end of the month. So I think I want like I just will I I wanted to read it before and I say to myself, no, it's too early, but like I remember everything also a month after, so just won't look at the time.
Mm.
Hmm.
Because,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, I want to see like how this is going to evolve. It was interesting.
yeah. I want to
Hmm.
go, like, get in her head.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. No, no more questions. We have enough. Like, I don't mind more questions if I get a few answers, like at least some kind of answers. Like, I just, I feel like I don't get anything, nothing accomplished. Like, just hard.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Ooh,
I feel like yes, in the second book, Elias and like Elias and Lia's relationship made me more sense than the first book, but I still feel like they didn't meant to be together. It's just the plot that brought two people together, and that's why they together. Like I don't feel this kind of love and commitment and soulmates. Like I don't feel it. If I will be honest with you.
I mean, Elias is dead. I mean,
Yes, yes. Like he's dead. He isn't dead, but he's dead. Yes, I don't know how it's going to like to work. Also, like in the end of the second book, like there was something that worked. Like he came a lot to visit her, like in the end of the book.
yeah, but is
So
it like only one way? Or maybe some creatures, some mythical creatures, whatever, could travel there as well? And then I don't know, but
yes,
he's dead, so he's not
yes,
supposed to get any of it.
yes,
I don't know.
yes. Yes, I can agree with you. Like this is a good example of non-romantic, non-sexual relationship in books because they are like sister and brother. They will do anything for each other, but they are not
Mm,
romantically involved. So I definitely agree with you.
yeah.
I want to read Mistborn so much. I'm just
I
so
need to.
intimidated by those books, but like I'm such a mood reader, so one day I will read them. I just won't force myself. So one day it will arrive,
Mm.
and I hope really soon.
But apparently, so the books are huge, but you read them
Yes.
super fast. Like every person who has read that series, like recently, was like, I was so scared to read it. I just wished I did it sooner because it was so fast. And I'm like,
So many books that I want to read, like the list never ends.
no.
Yes.
But this
Mhm.
year, I'm gonna read it this year. Same for Name
Yes.
of the Wind.
Oh my God, I hope you will get to them soon. And not, I hope you won't say in 2022, this year I'm going to read it.
Well, I'm not gonna
Yes.
promise anything now. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I mean,
Alchemy.
the only Brandon Sanderson I have read is Skyward, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I
I
cannot wait
didn't
to read
read
the sequel.
I didn't read anything, but I'm going to. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, we are talking about an ember in the ashes. Oh my God, Helena is all okay. I'm actually really like I loved Helena in the second book. I didn't. think I would love her because I really didn't love her character in the first book, but it was good. Like I'm really excited for her plot in the fourth book.
But what do you think she's gonna do? Like she's gonna do what she's expect? I mean, what they ask her to do, or she's gonna save the enemies?
I don't know
Like,
because I don't know in which like for in the last like in the end of the fourth book I know what is going to happen because I know that they are going to look after Lia's brother. So I know that the second book is probably going to be the journey to the jail, but I don't know what is going to happen now in the fourth book when Lia's brother is like they got him. What is going to happen now? Like they're going like what is I just don't know where the plot is going to go from here. I expect it like to go that the good want to win the evil because that's what happens in books usually. But I don't really know. Like I'm pretty clueless from which kind of plot is going to happen, especially because like what happened with Elias, he isn't alive and going like to be against the evil. It's something different now. It's like in between, so something is going to be different.
yeah, it's not only evil. It's like, is she gonna help the cause maybe she believes in, like maybe help her childhood best friend or whatever, or is she gonna protect her sister?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's not evil now. She has to pick a side, or maybe she's a genius and she will do good for both sides. But I mean,
We'll see.
I I don't want to be in her shoes right now. It's just
Mhm.
torture.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay, that's good. At least a few questions. Like I want to.
Yeah.
He's like he's alive. Like for us, he's still in the plot, so
Yeah.
he's kind of alive. So yes, it's like for me, alive like means that he's still part of the book. Like his
Yeah.
character is doing something. I can get it. Yes, I'm also afraid to start series that I don't know if they are going to be finished.
I mean, it's supposed to come out this year, I believe, but it was the same last year, I believe. So I don't know, but I feel like The Name of the Wind is also a series I'm gonna love. I don't know
Hmm.
why. I just have that feeling about that series.
I hope you will love it.
Yeah. Hmm. No, this year. This year. We have
Let's see
6 months
you
left.
will say in December.
No, please don't jinx it.
I hope you will get to it soon this year. I cheer for you. I hope.
Thank you. Oh,
Oh, I'm
interesting.
really interested.
Interesting.
Yes, definitely yes. I forgot about it, but yes, Harper is like the one who was the spy for Elia's mother.
Yeah.
I ship them so much. Like I just forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me. But I don't know, like they have this kind of tension that I don't feel between Elias and Laya, and that I don't feel between Elias and Helena. Just I feel that their start of tension is more genuine than any other romantic relationship in the book so far.
Mm, I really
Yeah,
don't
it's like
remember. Do you have a
so.
scene in mind?
No, it's like was he was with them like for most of the second book. Like
Yeah.
he was the
Yeah.
yes, and like I just feel this tension between them. How they talk, how they like just how they act to each other. I really feel those kind of tension. I don't know, like every if you look maybe in the fourth book when they speaks, I don't know, like it felt that Harper isn't only on the side of Elia's mother. I felt that he's feeling something towards Helena. Like what it was expected to me that he's going like to help them in some kind
Mm.
of way because I felt this connection between them. And I really, really hope they're going to be together because I feel that their romantic relationship is the only one that again feels genuine to me.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, but also like I just learned there is a book I want to read, and that's this one. So Master of
Master of
Sorrows
Sorrow. Okay, I never
by
heard about
Justin
it.
Kale. And
Okay, looks
so
cool.
a lot of
Looks.
people, yeah, it has been on my TBR for 2 years, I believe. So I really
Mm-hmm.
need to get to. It's also a
Mm-hmm.
chunker,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people read it recently and really loved it. And today I learned that it was a 10-book series. And I'm just like, I'm not going to wait for the
Wow.
10 books to be out to binge read
Mm-hmm.
them. I have to read one after the other,
Yes, yes.
especially because this doesn't look like it. But it's like the sequel is over like almost 900 pages, and it looks thinner than the Priory of the Orange Tree, but actually the pages are super thin. And I'm like, I'm not gonna read 10 books in a row over like 800 pages. This one is 600, but still,
Yes,
like,
you can't binge them. Those kind of books you need to read. Take a break before you read the second one.
yeah,
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yes,
yeah.
I agree with you. Yes, I really want to see that ship going, like coming to life.
No, 10 books. He said that apparently in an interview or whatever, it's gonna be 10 books long. I'm just like,
So much.
it's huge.
Yes,
It's
it is.
huge. It's like the Nevermore. The middle grade, Nevermore. Uh,
Yes, like I didn't read it, but like I know the name of the series. Everyone, like I heard it a lot.
yeah, so there are 3 books out at the moment, and
Okay.
apparently it's gonna be 9 books long. So I'm just like,
Wow.
I'm
Okay,
happy I
interesting.
started it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So right now we are an hour into the live. So I think we are going to wrap up. You have like something final
Mm.
that you want to say about the book, like maybe something that we didn't talk about yet before we finish.
Maybe something that I actually liked and it felt a bit like Inception or whatever is like when Mami Rila actually started that riot by telling a story. I
Yes, I
really
really
enjoyed
loved it.
that part because it was
Me too.
symbolic. Like sometimes books can like trigger conversations and dangerous situations. And I love that she actually started a riot by telling a story to help Ilyas and the others. But I was like, was it Ilyas or just the others? No, it was all of
No,
them, right?
it was for Elias, but it was like for
Laia and
everyone.
the
But
other. Yeah.
yes, like Elias was the main reason that she did it. But I really, really, really agree with you. I really love this scene. It was one of the few scenes that I loved in the start middle of the book because the rest was only in the end. So I also really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like a book within a book, like a
Yeah.
story within a story. And I love
Yes.
that.
That was nice. Yes, it's going to be. Yes, I also don't know how they like. I know that you can like more or less know how much plot is going to be and how potentially it's going to like you can say potentially it can become a 5 book series, but it's really hard like to say yes, it's going to be 5 books. It feels to me
Yeah.
hard. About who? It's
Cook.
Cook. Cook.
Cook.
Ah,
Uh,
Cook,
Cook,
the
who was
cooker.
in the
I really want,
academy.
yes, I really wanted to see her more. I felt like it was a like it is another question that I didn't really got an answer on, and it felt to me a little bit just like I love that something is happening, but I didn't get what is happening. Like I just was what? Like it's interesting. I want to know more, but I don't know enough, so it just confused me too much.
Yeah, I still need like more information. But at the end of the first live, I was like, Cook has something to do with the rebellion.
Yes.
Cook Maybe it's
We
related
all said
to
it.
Laia.
Yes, we all
Yeah.
said that she's something, but we didn't know what.
No, but I believe like I almost thought she was like related to Laia.
Hmm.
That I don't know. There is
Yeah. Yes, we
something is
still
coming.
like a question and we didn't got the answer. And yes, we are not going to get all the answers. Like I didn't expect to get everything, but I wanted some, and I felt like I don't have any answers, just more questions.
Yeah, that's why I gave the book 2 stars. Like first
Hmm.
because the first half was very slow and
Slow.
keep repeating because they were like escaping and they were going city from city and every time they had to leave that city and they got discovered, they have to leave. It was like on repeat for me. And the
Hmm.
second reason is because I didn't get any freaking answer. And I'm
Hmm.
just like, we got more questions, which is fine, but at least give some answers on the way.
Yes.
Especially because these are not novellas. They're quite
Hmm.
like,
Yes.
I mean, average books, like 400, 500
Yes.
pages.
Yes. They were like a good length. Yes.
Yeah, so you have the possibility, I feel, to give answers. I feel
Hmm.
that you want to keep us on the edge and intrigued, but sometimes too much is too much and you lose interest.
Yes.
So I almost DNF'd it because of that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm glad I continued with it. But I
Yes.
mean, like,
Yes. I hope it will change in the fourth book. Yes. That's the problem with large series. Oh, the cook is amazing. Hmm. We all love the cook.
uh,
Yes. Yes, I always love to see her character. I
yeah,
said in
see?
the first live, I was the one who said no, she isn't a part of Laia's family. I hope you all remember that I was right. I remember that like you said, also you Sasha and also you Steph and also a few people on the chat, if I'm remembering right, you all thought that she's part of the family and she is like related to Laia in some way. And I know that she isn't. Like I just felt that she is something, but isn't related to Laia. I'm just
I'm
happy that I
still
was
not
wrong.
sure.
Yes,
I'm still not sure.
yes, everything can change. Yes. In the next live, you will be. I told you, Jane, she's part of Lion's family, and I would be. No, I was wrong.
Or maybe the opposite. We never know
Maybe
with that book.
just Esme knows.
Yeah.
Yes.
But see, Naomi doesn't know either.
Hmm.
But she has read
Hmm.
the third book.
Yes. Yes. You're right.
I'm not satisfied by that. I'm not
Yes.
happy. Uh,
Oh no, I really want to know more about her character.
hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope you will enjoy it. Like it will be
Yeah.
really good for you. Thank you. Yes, I'm excited to be right, and then I will be wrong in the next time. We never can know because we don't have any answers, only more questions.
Oh my
Yes.
god. I really hope we get some because if during the third live we're like, we have even more questions, we got even
Hmm.
less answers.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, I agree. Yes. Okay, so yes, I feel like we talked a lot about the book, and now we all want to read the fourth one, except Steph. I hope that you enjoyed the live, Steph, at least to know all what happened, what you didn't continue reading. Yes, I really hope, like, I have, I expect that the fourth and the fourth book will be better, and I hope not to be disappointment.
I hope so. I hope so.
Mhm.
So you really don't mind spoilers. That's good.
Yes, like she is not actually like I really get you, Steph. Like if you're not
Mm.
going to read the books, just know the plot. Like you started to read them for the plot. Just don't read the books and hear how us talking about the plot.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Yes.
Yeah, I do the same when I really don't care about the series or I gave up, I DNF'd, or I just not interested in the book. I don't mind actually watching live streams like shows and get spoiled because I'm like, I would have never picked that up. So
Hmm. Yes. Yes, I also like I now I'm really in the mood to continue the series, so I hope to get to it soon. Yes,
yeah, I wanted to
like
start it yesterday and I was like, no,
mhm.
no, first the live so you don't get all blah 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 inside and mix up everything.
Yes,
Now you
like
can.
before the live, it's a little bit complicated. I can get it. Okay. Uh, okay, about our next lives, like our next dates, it isn't confirmed, but we will announce everything, like also in Reddit, also in Twitter. But probably next week we will have some reading sprints, the same hour like today, also on my channel. So in a week, also in Sunday, uh, just reading sprints. You don't have to read Number in Dashes, just read whatever. And yes, he was really cute. I agree with you. The little boy with
What
Elias, the
happened to him?
prisoner. Something happened to him. Like I think
I
he
don't know.
escaped it with everyone. No, like I think just like about him, his character. I also like his character was cute. I felt like he made all the experience of the jail a little bit more interesting. So it was nice. My cat is
Yeah.
screaming. Yes. Okay, so let's hope that the fourth book will be better. I really, really hope so. I expect it to be better, and I really hope that I won't be.
Don't expect
uh,
anything. Don't expect anything.
You're right. We need not to expect anything.
Yeah, I
Yes.
don't know.
Hmm.
I will be starting it soon. As soon as I'm done with Turn the Head, I'm gonna start that one. Or maybe
Look,
closer
I
to the
know that
date.
it isn't a part of the life, but I didn't really love Thunderhead except the last 60 pages. I think the last 60 pages were the best thing that I read in 2021. Like, the last 60 pages were amazing. I can't wait. Like, I'm going to read the tool really soon. I hope, like, this week or the week after that. But just write me when you finish the book because I really need someone to talk about Thunderhead. So please write
Okay,
me.
now I'm kind of scared because I'm actually so I've read half of it and
Be
I'm
scared.
actually really enjoying it. So I'm like, am I
No,
gonna
no,
be
I didn't
super
enjoy
happy at
it.
the end?
No, I think that the second book was amazing. It was just
Mm.
too much character development and
Oh
really
yeah.
slow. And I'm a plot driven reader and I'm
Mm.
giving star ratings based on feeling. But if you will read my review on Goodreads, I say there that I think the book was made really, really good. It just wasn't for like I I am not the target audience for the book because the
Oh.
plot like really important to me. But the 60 last pages, like, wow, 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 please write me when you finish. Like, just need to talk about it with
Okay, when I
someone.
have only 60 pages left, I'm gonna text you and be like, okay, I'm starting the 60 last
Yeah,
pages now.
you know what? You know, I also I remember that I read it in Reading Sprints, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to stop now because I feel like something is going to happen, and then just stopped. Like, I had something like 5 minutes left. If you remember, it was like in our Reading Sprints, like so a month ago, something like this. And yes, like the last 60 pages, 70, 60, like something like this. Amazing. Like, wow, 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 wow.
I'm scared and excited
You
now.
need to be scared. Like, you really need to be scared.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
gonna
I
do that.
really want to reach the tool now, but I need to finish my current book. But oh my god, it was so good. Okay, sorry, we started to talk about
Out of topic.
another book. Yes. Okay, yes, but yes,
Yes, about the
the
little
little
boy.
boy.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
it was nice. Yes.
Had low
Okay.
expectations. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Captain.
Okay, I will try to. Yes. Okay, I will
Okay.
remember it. Okay, yes, it was really fun. Like, I really was excited to talk about the book because I just felt a lot. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
really.
same.
I hope that our next live show will be better. Like, our thoughts about the book will be better. Hmm.
I mean, We talked quite a lot about everything that happened in the book, so I feel like we did
A good
manage
job.
to
Yes.
make sense.
hmm Yes, a little bit. Now, when yes, it's a little bit makes more sense. Yes,
Yeah.
I hope the fourth book will make sense more.
I hope
Okay.
so.
Yes. Yes, we are too.
We are
Okay.
too scared and excited.
Mhm.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for everyone. We will see you in the next live. And yes, I hope we all enjoy the fourth book more. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone for being here,
Mhm.
asking questions, and giving us some input, and not spoiling the third book, but saying like, maybe that's gonna happen, maybe that.
Mhm.
Wait for it. So I'm excited now.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you in the next live. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.